see anything leaking, so that's a good start.
Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and you join me next to a very noisy fan in an underground car park in, where are we, France, with the Porsche Boxster Anniversary Edition. We drove over here really late last night, and of course, as you can imagine, we are on our way to the Nurburgring. I wanted to take a budget trip to the Nurburgring with my friend Charlie, who's never had a chance to drive on the ring. But with my love of cheap, old, noughties performance cars, will we even make it there? And if so, will the car be safe enough to take up to high speeds? It's a great road trip car to start with because we have two boots, of course, one in the front and one in the back. And so fitting all the bags in is no problem at all. But yeah, we came over here yesterday, did a couple of 100 miles, no problem at all. Really comfortable, cruise control, 6 gears, he averaged about 35 mpg. So it's a lovely, lovely thing. And it's looking great as well. I did a full ceramic coating on it just before we came. And of course, as you will have seen, it's been to ePorsche and had some upgrades done. It's had a new belt, it's had some coolant sorted, a new radiator, and mainly braided brake hoses, racing brake fluid, and GT3 ducts, which should help with the cooling on the discs. So because it's the anniversary edition, I mean, other Boxsters got it too, but we've got the upgraded like navigation system, but it's one of those ones which has the entire of Europe on it. So you can see where we are here in Luz, just outside, where are we, just outside Lille. So yeah, it was about an hour down here from the ferry yesterday. And I will talk, if you stay in the video a bit longer, I will talk more about the cost, because we're trying to do this on a bit of a budget. Normally I get the Eurotunnel over, but it's actually a lot more expensive than the ferry, and I sort of never really considered the ferry before, but it was actually very good, very easy. So yeah, about an hour and a bit over to Lille, and then we've got 4 hours or so to get out to West Germany if this loads. So yeah, I love this, and I can actually set a route for the Nürburgring on this quite antiquated system. But yeah, it's a lovely thing in here. Bit tight, but we have the boot space to put all of our stuff, and yeah, so a really lovely thing to drive at speed actually, which is what we'll be doing later on. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? So might as well start the car up and we'll get going. Going so well. You see, I've got a history with these Boxsters. Last time I tried to take a Boxster to Germany, actually, it broke at the Eurotunnel. The belt went and I had to cancel the trip. We've just left our hotel in Lille, as you can see here. We're only just outside of Lille, and if you bring your gaze to here, we now have a check engine light. So I don't really fancy pulling over on the side of this road, so I'm just going to coast it 110 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit, hopefully to a nearby services where we can give it a scan. The car is driving fine, it feels fine. Maybe a little bit of a rough idle this morning when we started it, but yeah, it's not good, is it? Oh look, we're in Belgium now, I think. So we've made it to Belgium in our broken Boxster, Charlie. There is a parking area here, so it's just typical, isn't it? Okay, should we just have a look while the engine's on? Just have a little look around.
Well, I can't see anything leaking, so that's a good start.
Really pleased I brought this because of this exact situation. This is quite handy because it's saved me more than once. It's pretty comprehensive, this thing, so it will normally tell us what's going on. Let's switch it off. OBD port on these Boxsters is around the passenger side. It's a nice day to be broken down, isn't it? I mean, if we get stranded, at least we can get a tan. There's plenty of space over there to pop a sunbed. So, here we go. pop the ignition back on. To be honest, it might just be one of those ones where if I switch it off and on again, it's gone, but we can always sit and admire our lovely brown interior, can't we? And the carpet stripes that I did. Health report, here we go. This is what we're looking at, DME. Fault code's 4. I'm hoping it's like oxygen sensor, catalytic pressure, like sensor stuff that's not actually going to mean we're going to hurt the engine. But obviously when I had it in at ePorsche a few days ago, there was nothing on the fault, so it does make me think something's gone, something's broken today, yesterday, whatever. I'm scared. Yes, yeah, look at that. What did I just say? What did I just say?
Oxygen sensor.
Look, oxygen sensor, oxygen sensor, oxygen sensor, catalytic converter, O2 sensor. I think, Charlie, my executive decision is that's fine. We can drive, we'll clear those, and then they may not come back on. That could be like this morning, like you said, this morning I was a bit naughty. I did a little, when it was cold, gave it a little bit of a blip. That might have done something. So, I think we continue further into France, well, Belgium now. I'll leave a link in the description to this Think Car scanner. It is very good, and actually there's a 10% coupon code, I think, with Joel at the moment. So I'll leave that in the description. Well, that's the sign to say we're in Germany, which means we can do this. The car hasn't given us any more problems. Now we can really stretch its legs, which I think is really what this kind of car wants. You know, it's a nice easy 200 kilometers an hour there. It's amazing. You're doing about 110 miles an hour at the top of third gear. Really long gears, this car. Oh, it never gets old, this, being able to drive as fast as you want. And today, of course, we've got a really clear day. It's not very windy. It's quite warm. And it's not too busy either, it's a Sunday, but we do still have people in the way. Got a speed restriction now. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so 4 hours later, actually look, you can see on here, if you look, this is what we've done since we left Lille. So 4 hours, 23 minutes of driving, 246 miles, average 57 miles per hour, and 26.9 mpg, which is not too bad considering we were doing 130, 140 miles an hour for a fair while. Anyway, we're now in the queue to get onto the Nurburgring, and my excitement's got the better of me. We were going to go straight to the hotel, drop some stuff off and settle in and then come here, but we just got to do a lap straight away. So I'll put up some proper cameras if I can, and we'll take you for our first lap, and Charlie's first lap actually on the ring, which is going to be great. Also, there's no like pre-booking or anything like that. There's literally at the top of this hill, there's like a little booth, a little ticket office. You just go in there, get a card, put 1, 2, 3, how many laps you want on. I think it's 35 euros a lap, and that's it. You just scan it when you go in. Charlie, how are you feeling, mate?
Obviously I'm not driving, but I'm pretty nervous. I don't know why, like, because I don't know what to expect, you know.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous too. New car. Obviously, don't know how it's going to perform.
It's busy. So
it is busy. Yeah. It's probably the busiest I've ever seen it.
I don't think I'd want to drive right now, to be honest.
Well, let's see how it goes, shall we? Let's see how the car does. Obviously, I'm not going to give it absolutely everything. So yeah, so we just go around here. This is where we come off. And then we find a little toll booth. And we're off, mate. That'll be it. We're on the Nurburgring, Charlie! Finally, mate. See how hilly it is, like here? Yeah? Like, you feel the G. Oh, it feels lovely, this. Always want to try and brake in a straight line, which I'm not doing at all. Heel and toes, nice and easy in this. When you play it on the game, it doesn't feel downhill at all, this bit. Car feels good. Not quite sure where the edge of grip is yet. We've got the Z3 Coupe behind us, Charlie. Yeah, there's a bit of... Alright. All good? Yeah. This bit's a bit scary. Brake before here. Oh, do you feel that G-force?
Yeah.
Got a Lotus on my chaff. I want to get past this M235. Pretty good. This is my favourite bit. It's lifting. The G-force, Charlie, when you get down here. I love it here. You feel that? Yeah. Whoa. That's good, isn't it? There you go.
Very good.
Woo!
So as you can see, driving on the Nurburgring is quite an experience. What I love about it so much is that no lap is the same. As I showed with that first lap in the Boxster, you really don't need to push the car hard to have a great time. The other excellent thing about visiting the Nurburgring is that the surrounding area is incredible. It's not only gorgeous, but there's some amazing driving roads right next to the track. When going from A to B, you always find yourself in an impromptu convoy with a bunch of incredible cars from all sorts of different countries. You can visit the Nurburgring Expedition Centre and of course get yourself that obligatory photo with your car in front of a famous sign. And then in the evening the town of Adenau comes alive with restaurants and bars opening and everyone parking their cars. They've just been driving all day on the track on the street. I'm going to now play a little bit of footage of a lap I did the following day with the roof down where I did actually push the Boxster pretty hard. After that I'm going to summarise the trip for you and then a little bit later on we'll talk exactly about the costs of visiting the Nurburgring. Now just a very quick reminder about my friends at Tester Up. If you love playing games on your phone and want to earn some money while you do it, then download the app now to start playing and earn some extra cash. You can get paid up to £80 per app test. You'll receive your payouts within 24 hours via bank transfer, and Tester Up has a 4.2 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot with its over 3 million users. To get started, you can visit the link in the description, the pinned comment below, or simply scan the QR code on screen now. Thank you so much, Tester Up. Now let's get back to the Nurburgring. So on this final lap then, I am pushing the Boxster pretty hard. All this acceleration is me at flat chat and using the entire rev range available. Having the roof down is not only good fun, especially in weather like this, but it does actually aid with visibility of seeing what's around you. This Boxster is incredibly intuitive when it comes to heel and towing, which is, I'd say, vital in a manual car on a track like this. Despite these tyres being a couple of generations old Michelin Pilot Sport 2s, they grip tremendously well. And although on paper this Boxster isn't the fastest thing in a straight line, that intake sound more than makes up for it. I know I could totally go faster around here than I am going, but for me, I like to push the car to a limit where I feel comfortable and know that the car has still got some in reserve.
130. That's it. Yeah. Washing out. That was washing out there.
Having said that, I would have liked to push the car a little bit harder, however the brakes were getting slightly juddery about halfway around the lap, so I did have to lift and coast, so to speak.
That whole thing just went light, didn't it?
In terms of lap times, well, you're not supposed to actually record them, and there were 2 yellow flags on this lap. However, I would imagine this final lap that I did in the Boxster was in the sort of high 8-minute range, which I'm pretty happy with. Nonetheless, that was it. It was basically a quick 24-ish hour trip to Nurburgring, and the next morning we were heading home.
So good morning, it's our last day here in Germany. Well, in fact, we're heading back today, hence why I'm in this shirt, because I've run out of all my other clothes for this trip. But we're here, Boxster's made it in one piece. We had a little bit of a few worries with the engine light on the way over, but she's been absolutely fine. We've been checking the levels and all the rest of it, and yeah, it just shows you can buy a budget performance car, I suppose, if you can call this that. Bring it here, have a good load of fun, and then take it home. So yeah, we ended up doing, I think, a total of 5 laps in on the Nordschleife. I did 3, Charlie behind the camera did 2, which I think he very much enjoyed. This is the place I normally stay. It's called Speedy's Guest House. As you can see, it's quite remote. Lots of people like to stay right in the action. I prefer somewhere a little bit quieter, so actually if you're a bit like me, it's a good little spot. It's about 100 euros a night, something like that, so it's not too bad. And actually, none of the accommodation around here is ever that expensive. And bearing in mind, we're here in August, so right in the middle of the school holidays and good weather and things like that. So yes, anyway, so today, driving back to the UK, we're on the ferry again, because that is cheaper than the Eurotunnel. In fact, the Eurotunnel's got really expensive lately. I think it was about 600 return to go on the Eurotunnel on the same times, and I think I paid 220 for the ferry, which goes from Calais to Dover. So it's a 6 p.m. ferry back, gives us about 8 hours to get there. It's only about 4.5 hour drive if we just take the most direct route from here, just beside the Nordschleife to Calais. It's about 4.5 hours on a good run. We're gonna pop back over to the track now, just to see if there's anything going on during the day, have one last look, and maybe stop at Spa, that racing track in Belgium, on the way home as a sort of midway-ish lunch stop or something like that, because there always seems to be something going on there and you can get right next to the track, and it's very cool. Anyway, what else can I tell you about this car? Well, let's get in it. Let's head towards the Nurburgring now, have one last look, and we can talk some more about the Boxster later on in the video.
So turns out there wasn't much of anything going on the track on this Monday morning, so we decided to head straight back towards Calais, although we did make that stop via Belgium and Spa. Now, luck has it that sadly there wasn't anything going on at Spa either. However, there is this lovely little cafe by the Hotel de la Source, which is where most of the F1 drivers stay during the F1 race. It's a shade under 2 hours from the Nurburgring to Spa, and it doesn't create much of a diversion if you are heading back to the ports, either at Calais or Dunkirk. From there, it's a simple 3 and a bit hour drive along the French auto route up to Calais, where I love driving because you can cruise at about 140 kilometers an hour, which is somewhere near 90 miles per hour, so you do cover a good amount of distance. The ferry terminal at Calais is actually really nice too. The whole ferry experience, I have to say, was for me, well, better than the Eurotunnel. Yes, it's not as quick, but often when I'm heading to the Nurburgring, I'm not really in a rush of any sort. It's much cheaper, and of course, after that 4-hour drive to Calais, you get a chance to stretch your legs on the ferry and reset before the awful driving when you get back to the UK. The famous land of lane hoggers, average speed checks and variable speed limits. But here we are now though, back in the Boxster anniversary in one piece with a notepad full of costs, because I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, the cost of going to the Nurburgring. Lots of you will have done it, and maybe you'll do it in your own way, and you can comment below how you do it and what it costs you. But I know there's a lot of people out there, I speak to a lot of you when I see you at car meets and things like that, and I read YouTube comments all the time asking about how you go to the Nurburgring, if there's anything you need to know, anything you need to prepare, and what it costs. So we're going to go into that right now. But first, just a quick word on the Boxster anniversary. It has been an excellent car for this trip. I have really enjoyed it. We took it up to about 150 miles per hour on the Autobahn, no problems at all. We did 5 laps in total over on the Nurburgring. We pushed it pretty hard and it's done well. We've still got good tread on our tyres. We haven't warped the disc, which is the thing I'm really worried about. So we've still got brakes. Everything is still good to go. I'm going to get it serviced, have an oil change done just as a preventative thing. It's only been 2,000 miles since its last oil change, but why not just do it for peace of mind? But other than that, it's been a great car. The cruise control is lovely. Sat nav's lovely. The air conditioning blows ice cold. We've even got heated seats and stuff like that. So it's a really lovely car. A bit noisy at speeds, but it's a soft top. So what do you expect? But the cost then. So let's start with the non-negotiables. They're obviously going to be things like your transport over there, your fuel, and of course your hotel, your accommodation. Now, as I mentioned, we went in the middle of August, so peak time if you like, which meant we got good weather, but it is also very busy over there, and hotels, ferries, things like that are going to probably be as expensive as they'll ever get. However, having said that, we only spent a total of £366.78 on hotels. Now that was for 3 nights. 1 night in a Best Western in Lille, which I think was about 80 quid. We booked that on the same day, so that was a very last minute booking. And for 2 nights in the Speedy's guest house, which is where I always stay, in a 2-bedroom apartment. So Charlie and I had a bedroom each. It's a real good place that I want to recommend, but also I don't want it to get booked up with you guys because I love to stay there. Ferry, I think I said earlier, but it was £234.99. Now that's obviously from Dover to Calais, Calais to Dover with a car, and that was with DFDS. There's P&O and there's Irish Ferries, and I think there's one other one that I can't think of at the top of my head. Absolutely fine. Nothing really to write home about, but at the same time, I think I preferred it to the Eurotunnel. On the same dates, the Eurotunnel was going to cost us £589 return. And yes, like I say, it's quicker, but you don't get the chance to really stretch your legs. And I'd actually really enjoyed the ferry experience. It's quite nice to stand out on the deck and watch everything going on, especially in the sunshine. So that was a real big thumbs up from me. I think I'll be doing the ferry next time as well. We did 5 laps at the Nurburgring, so one of those laps was on a Sunday where the weekend price for a lap is €35, and the other 4 laps we did on the Monday evening. So it's always worth checking before you go to the Nurburgring. There is a calendar for tourist and farten. Now, occasionally it will just be closed during the week for private events or maintenance. Obviously throughout the winter it is closed. So check the timings before you go. Make sure you don't book your trip without checking the track is actually open for tourist drives. Sometimes you'll also get access to the GP circuit, so they open that up as well as the Nordschleife, if that makes sense. But we did 4 laps on that Monday evening, so €120 for the 4 laps because they're only €30 a lap during the weekdays. So we spent €155 on laps, or £133.64. And then finally, fuel. This is going to be very subjective and it's going to vary based on where you're coming from in the UK, what you plan on doing when you're in Germany, how long you stay there, how many laps you do, how many Autobahn runs, things like that. But as I say, we did 5 laps, a couple of Autobahn runs. We basically just drove to and from my home here just outside London to Nurburgring and back, and obviously a bit of driving around to Adenau and things like that. And we only spent, and this is putting all the best fuel in, £286.10, which actually I think is quite good. I think the reason I think that's quite good is because the last one is in the Quattroporte, and that averaged sort of high teens in terms of MPG. Before that I went in my 7 Series, which was low teens. This, I think it was 26.9 MPG we averaged over the entirety of the trip, which, you know, considering we did all those laps and the high speed stuff, I think that is very, very impressive. So the essential cost, the laps, the fuel, the hotel and the ferry, came to just over £1,000, £1,021.42. So that's for 2-3 day trip to the Nurburgring, the night hotel, and 5 laps on the track. I think that's very good value indeed. As you saw earlier, I did do a couple of non-essential upgrades. Of course, I had to repair the coolant before going in this car. That won't necessarily apply to you guys, but I did do the non-essential upgrades to the brakes with the ducts, the fluid, and the braided brake hoses from Goodrich. So that was £374.02. And I have to say, I'm not sure, it's hard to say what the difference was. I've never taken a Boxster before without those upgrades, but I was able to push this car harder than I've pushed anything else before. The brakes did last longer, but I was never able to do an entire lap without having to, you know, lift and let the brake discs cool. So bit of a shame. Would I do the upgrades again? Well, yes, I probably would, but I don't really know, you know, what difference it's actually made. All I can say is I've managed to come home and I don't need to be replacing my brake discs, so that's something I've had to do previously, so I guess it was worth doing that £374 upgrade to the brakes. There's a couple of tiny extras as well. So to go to Europe, you need to take a few things with you. You need your V5 documentation in the car just in case you're stopped. You also need to take a high visibility jacket, first aid kit, you need your UK stickers or badges on the car, and a warning triangle. Now if you don't have those things, you can go to Halfords and buy a kit for £39.99, which gets you all of that. I just had to buy the stickers, so £4.28 for the UK number plate stickers that I have on the car. And there's other things like I would recommend you getting, if you don't have it as standard anyway, is European breakdown cover. Obvious reason for that, you never know what's going to happen. And I think it cost me an extra 30 quid a year or something on this car to have that. So massively worth it for peace of mind. We did break down in Belgium when we had that engine light. It would have cost, you know, hundreds and hundreds, maybe even £1,000 to get the car back to the UK without any form of breakdown cover or insurance. So definitely worth doing that. The other note I just put down is we did some meals out. We had pizza at that restaurant in Adenau. I always go there actually. I'll put the name up on screen, it's really good, but €30 for a couple of pizzas and a couple of beers. Very good value indeed. Yeah, we spent about 70 quid on meals out, but I sort of don't include those as costs because wherever you are in the world, whether you're at home or not, you've got to be eating. Okay, it might not be meals out, but you've got to eat, haven't you? So yeah, the whole thing, well under 1,500 quid, even with those brake upgrades. And, you know, should I sell this car now? I think I'd probably make that 1,500 quid back based on what I paid for it and what I think it's now worth. So yeah, a really, really good trip. And needless to say, I split all of that with Charlie, my co-driver and co-passenger. So yeah, to me anyway, it was about 500 quid for a great 3 days, having the best time ever on the Nurburgring. So brilliant, brilliant place to go. It's not the last time I'm gonna go. I'll be there again very soon, I'm sure. And if you haven't been, I do strongly recommend you visit. Oh, there is one more thing. So you may have noticed the thumbnail of this video is a great photo of me on the carousel. And also during the video, there was actually a video clip of me coming around the carousel. That was me and flying past. So there's a website called Racetracker.de where there's a bunch of photographers stationed around the track pretty much all the time. You can log on a day or two afterwards, look for the time that you're on track, maybe even put in your number plate, and there will be photos available for you to buy of your car. They come as standard with a watermark, but it's about 12 to 15 euros per image if you want to buy them. So I did buy a couple of images, 30 euros, one for the thumbnail and another one for my wall above my desk where I like to have photos of all my cars. And I bought that video clip as well to put into the video, which is about 15 euros as well. So there's a few extra bits and bobs you can do should you wish, but obviously that is optional. If you have any other questions regarding this trip at all, or just the Nurburgring in general, then please do leave a comment below on this YouTube video. But also I'd like to hear your experiences as well from going the Nurburgring. What have you driven there? What have you got that you might like to drive there? Also, what would be the dream thing for you to be driven around in? Do comment below, because I want to hear your experiences as well. Okay, well I think that's about it. Now before you go, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a little bit different, it's been a bit more of a vlog style format if you like, but instead of just doing a, oh I took my Boxster to the Nurburgring type thing, I wanted to really bring you along on the experience and share everything with you and talk about how much it costs, things like that. So do leave the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. I can do more videos like this in the future if you like. And stay tuned, because next week we've got the Z3 is having some work. I'm looking at it now. It's having some work done, some of it by me, and we're also going to give it a machine polish. And by we, I mean I'm going to try and give it a machine polish and really bring the paintwork out a little bit, because it does need a little bit of help. So thank you all so much. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video very, very soon.